It's always nice to talk with some new faces on Capitol Hill that aren't jaded from the politics of this town yet. Congressman Michael Baumgartner, welcome to the show.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's great to be here. Yeah, no, not jaded yet. I love, being a member of Congress is a challenging job, but it's a job I really enjoy because I really like America.
This is your first term.
It is. Yeah, we're getting right here to the end of the first year.
So talk to me about being a new member here and what that means. Does this, I don't know how else to say it, but you get here, maybe you run for office, you work hard to get here, and then you hit this buzzsaw of bureaucracy. And I always imagine that that's got to feel very frustrating.
Well, I just wake up every day proud that I have what it takes to be a member of Congress, in the sense that, this is a challenging job. You get people that say nice things to you, but you get a lot of people that say some not many nice things to you. So there are some challenging aspects for every family, but just very grateful every day that I get to do it. We live in such a wonderful republic, and, what America has given me and the opportunities we have in this country. And so to get to come to work and work in this process, it is an interesting process, to say the least. There's 435 members of the House, and that's a big number.
Yeah.
There's 220 Republicans, and to get a bill out of the House, you got to get 218 to agree with you. And so, you think about being back home and getting 218 people to agree on everything. That could be a challenge, but I think we've had a lot of success this year, and it's been fun to be part of.
Why did you win in Washington's 5th? I don't know your district, but I assume there are people in our audience that do. So tell me about why you won your election and how you think you're going to deliver being here.
Well, that's, a great question. We won because the American people were concerned about the rising cost of living, and they were concerned about the chaos at the southern border, and were concerned about the reckless policies of Joe Biden and the Democrats. And the great thing about this year is that we've delivered on the promises that we campaigned on. If you start with the border, under Joe Biden, over 12 million illegals were brought into the country, and circumventing our rule of law, essentially abusing our refugee resettlement process. And, under Republicans leadership this year, we've brought that down to essentially no illegal immigrants coming into the country. So it's a good feeling to deliver on that campaign promise. We also campaign on making life more affordable and helping folks. You look at what we did in the Working Families Tax Cut to give the largest tax reduction in American history. Families on average about $11,000 in savings for an American family. No taxes on tip, no taxes on overtime, reduced taxes on Social Security for seniors. Those are tremendous wins. So it feels good to deliver on that. And then, we have so many energy resources here in America, and under the extreme environmental policies of Joe Biden and the radical Democrats, they essentially were trying to lock up the use of our energy. And it feels good as a Republican to come in here and open up those energy resources. So there's so much for us to be proud of this year. It's one of the reasons that makes those flights across the country I do every week, worthwhile.
Yeah, you do. That's one of the longest trips, I'm sure, outside of maybe Hawaii, right?
Yeah.
Or Alaska. What was your professional background prior to being here?
So I've been blessed to do a variety of things. I'm a recovering state senator,
Okay.
and I had also been a county treasurer working in local government, which I really appreciated because local government has to be very practical on it. And before that, I was in the State Department in Iraq and Afghanistan dealing with some of the threats of Islamic terrorism, and been very, very blessed to work around the world and know what freedoms we have here at home and how they have to be protected.
Interesting you bring that up, terrorism. We just saw two of our guardsmen attacked, murdered, one, sadly, one in critical condition right now. How big is terrorism still an issue here? We know Homeland Security is obviously tackling it, but is that something that's still on your mind?
Oh, very much so. The threat of radical Islamic terrorism continues to be one of the most dangerous threats to the U.S. and to our freedoms. That's one of the reasons that what President Trump did this summer with dismantling Iran's nuclear arsenal was so important. There's been no greater supporter of Islamic terrorism across the globe than the mullahs of Iran. And you think about them with those terrorist cells that they support, and also being equipped with the backstop of a nuclear weapon, is extremely dangerous, and just couldn't be allowed to happen. And President Trump was very direct and determined with the Iranians that threat would be eliminated. And I think what he has done on foreign policy, particularly in the Middle East, has been America's best foreign policy really since Dwight Eisenhower. And so just really impressive there. But yeah, terrible what happened to those National Guardsmen. I know I feel safer in Washington, D.C. with the Guard out on the streets, and it was awful what happened.
You just ran and won. So now we're talking about midterms. Can you run and win again the same way? What do you say to your colleagues who maybe are now looking at staring down the barrel of what is historically a loss for the party that's in charge, total control of the legislature? Does it have to be that way?
No, I feel really confident if we continue to do what we said we were going to do on the campaign, which was like make America more secure and grow our economy. I think we're going to be just fine. I just don't think the Democrats have a vision that can govern America responsibly. They're locked in a box of identity politics, and they're so beholden to some of their special interests that they just don't have a program that can build things in America anymore. The Democrats used to be a party of working class folks that can actually build things, but we all know in Democrat cities that it takes 18 committees and 10,000 trial lawyers to build simple things. And so how can they be the party that's going to build the infrastructure that America needs? Just to take one example. So I really believe that whether it's the economy, keeping America secure, or building the infrastructure America needs, it's Republicans, in the House Republican Conference that has the solutions for America. I think we get out and campaign on those. Obviously, we got to raise a lot of funds to get that message out, because certainly the traditional left-wing media, they distort what we're doing here. But that's why the fundraising is so important. But we put the resources together. I feel very, very confident what we're going to do in the midterms.
Congressman, it's nice to meet you. I hope you'll come back on the show when you can.
I would love to do it.
All right,
so great to meet you as well.
Thank
Thanks.
you.